to think for yourself and question authority. Now, the way I'm going to try to do that tonight is I'm going to try to, it's all the language. We are, as the French semioticians tell us, we're shackled by our language. We're imprisoned by our language, by ideas. And so what I'm going to try to do is to, with as much clarity as I can summon here, and zap on and to laser and to warm up and to buzz and to tickle and to stimulate the shackles of language that are tying you to any particular religion or any particular political party, even to question your enslaving commitments to your country, and God knows, possibly even to your gene pool, and possibly even to your parents. Now, in other words, if I don't make fun of any of your favorite deeply held convictions, you call me back during question and answer period, and you can get your money back. Now, as I make fun of these sacred cows, let me make this point, because I hope to kick some ass here tonight. But they don't know any better. See, there's no anger here. They don't know. I'm taking literally rationally. They don't know any better. The Ayatollah Khomeini, he just doesn't know any better than to try to get a billion Islamic people to go out and kill this fellow that wrote a little silly book about a hallucination he had about his sacred Allah. I mean, the guy has no sense of humor. And to the extent that anyone follows him, they don't have a sense of humor. But on the other hand, he's doing the best he can, and it's our job not to attack or in any way get down at that level, but to use the information power that we have now to gently get people to disidentify with that. Now, it is true that if you should take on this role of urging people to think for themselves and question authority, y'all can get in trouble that way. And that's part of the game. You know, most people, see, don't want to change. Most people are doing the best they can. They've been entrapped by their parents and their language and by the language of their society. They don't, and they're discouraged from thinking for yourself. That's the key. How many of us in our growing years were encouraged to think for ourselves and question authority and come out with new ideas? The aim of the game, until Dr. Spock came along in 1946, which created the 60s, by the way. Dr. Spock was the first person that told parents, hey, your job is to teach your kids to be individuals, and to encourage your kids to be individuals, and to treat your kids as individuals. Oh, Jesus. When he said that, that's the most subversive statement you can make. Talk about anarchy. Forget it. When you teach kids to be individuals, you're undercutting every religion and every organization and every political dogmatic system through world history. It didn't matter whether you're left, right, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, everybody who had an organization agreed you had to take kids and get them to line. The kids are little wogs, little animals. You got to get them with a carrot and a whip. You got to get them to conform and join the pack. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remind you about the three stages that we have gone through as human beings and that you have gone through as individuals, and show how your ability to think for yourself has been limited in each of these, and why at this moment in world history, as we leave the industrial society and move on to the post-industrial society, it's not only your pleasure to think for yourself, it's your duty. You've got to think for yourself in the information age. Now, let me remind you that in the past, as I suggested, it has been very perilous if you tried to think for yourself. We're told that human society started 25,000 years ago in a tribal society. In a tribal society, you were not encouraged to think for yourself. All of the thinking was done by a man, naturally with a man with a big long beard. He was the shepherd, and he had that big crook. You know what that crook was for? To hook any young black sheep that was wandering out to think for herself, right? Now, I make fun of the notion that the people have in the past worshipped a God who is the shepherd. Can you believe they still say that? This weekend, today, this Sunday, there are probably 20, 30 million Americans who listen to someone on a platform like this saying, "The Lord is my shepherd." Well, no shit, Sherlock. If the Lord is my shepherd, what does that mean I am? Ba, ma, pa. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. See, when we were little babies, baby in arm, you couldn't think for yourself. And some big, smart ass like me can't bother to think for yourself. Hey, what can you do? You are a little sheep and a nice cuddly thing. And it's nice to have that period. And when I tell you you got to grow out of it. You can't spend grown men and women walking around saying, "Cuddle me, shepherd God." I mean, and I'm not attacking that aspect of us. That still hungers. We all hunger for a daddy and a mommy that's going to do all the thinking for us and take care of us. That's healthy. I mean, give into it now and then. Get into a hot tub with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Do it if you want. But anyway, you got to grow up a little bit. Now, the tribal society ended and we moved into a new level of human civilization, as we always do when you change the language and change the technology for packaging thoughts and communicating. You see, the limits of a tribal society, just like the limits of your home, are limited by the sound of the human voice. And the guy that ran the tribe could tell you where to go and when to go to, but you were limited to your valley. And in the next valley there was another guy, another shepherd with another god doing the same thing. When they invented writing, that changed the whole situation, and a new dimension of humanity developed. See, when you read and write, you can write those things down and send your people in the galleys across the Mediterranean or the camels across the desert, and immediately you've got long-distance communication. And that created the feudal state. It made it wonderfully powerful because the feudal kings and the feudal sultans had the power, that incredibly magic power of reading and writing. Now, we are all concerned today about reading and writing and literacy. Listen, don't kid yourself. Literacy has always been a technique through which the power holders control. See, if I can read and write, and I can write down those little Phoenician shells and the pieces of papyrus, messages, and send them to my agents over in Athens or across in Tunis, and I've got an advantage on you that don't know that. See, writing was originally a code that helped get organizations together over distances. And the reason Johnny can't write is for 4,000 or 5,000 years they didn't fucking want him to read and write because they'd lose the power. And even today, the slaveholders in the Confederacy before our Civil War would not let the slaves read and write. Obviously, why? Now, when reading and writing started, that changed our concept of religion and changed our concept of human beings. No longer was a human being a little sheep. In the new order of feudalism, there's God, and then there's God's lieutenants on earth. There's the sultan or the king and divine rights of kings and all that. And don't worry about reading, about thinking for yourself, boys and girls. It's all being done for you up there in the castle of the duke or the cardinal. They got a big computer up there. It's called an illuminated manuscript. And they got the nerds, the hackers up there. They were monks, They knew the machine language, which is called Latin. They do all the thinking. They'll tell us what you have to do. Now, just as, I'm going to quote you back some of the language of this period. Remember when I talked about we all want a daddy and a mommy God? Remember that? Can you believe there's a prayer still used in America? It said, "Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." Yeah? "Thy kingdom come." What? What's this shit about kingdom? Kingdom? Our foremothers and forefathers, was it 10 years ago, came to this country to overthrow kings and royalty and monarch. Get up the fuck out of here, George III. And now you're telling me God is a king, his kingdom will come, thy will be done. Yeah? What are you, some fucking mafia capo up there? For thine is the power and the glory. Yeah, I'll get down on my knees, boss. Don't worry about me. Can you believe that shit? Or how about Moses comes down from the mountain, got all the wisdom there, all you need to know, chipped in marble. Can you believe that? See, there's no invitation for word processing. We're chipping in marble. Those 10 commandments, they're not 10 suggestions, boys and girls. There's no encouragement to take those 10 ideas and bring them to your discussion group. And commandment number 1. I mean, we all need principles. We all need algorithms. We need coaching. I mean, I'm not against looking to the past to find navigational hints, but shit, it's about commandment number 1. I am the Lord thy God, and thou shalt have no other gods before me. Well, you can't stand the competition, huh? I mean, insecure bastard. Thou shalt not make no graven image. Thou shalt not take my name in vain. Oh, Jesus. Paranoid asshole. I mean, get down. Boy, the Bible. The Bible is the Word of God. The Bible is written by God. No man or woman dare change it. Well, let's listen to this. Genesis, 3rd chapter. I'm the Lord thy God, and I made everything here. On the first day, I made the stars, and on the second day, I made the heavens and the planets. On the third day, I made the earth. On the fourth day, I made the oceans. And the fifth day, I made the earth and the creepy crawly things. And on the sixth day, boy, I put you, Adam, in this ultimate destination resort. The Garden of Eden. Yeah, I did it. Ultimate Club Mediterranean proprietor, okay? All right, boy. You're my favorite, see? You're a human being, see? Just get down on your knees. As long as you're on your knees, you're my favorite, see? Because you're made in my image. Kind of scary thought. I feel sorry for y'all alone here, so I'm going to take one of your ribs and make a woman. She'll be your helpmeet. She'll know her place. She'll follow you around. The Bible is not a women's liberation tract, as you've probably gathered. And now, y'all can do what you want here in the Garden of Eden. Go for it, boy. Just stay here forever. There are just 2 food and drug regulations. Y'all see that tree over there? That's the tree of eternal life and immortality, life extension, cloning, cryonics. I don't care. The fruit of that tree is a controlled substance. Y'all can't eat that because you'll get to be immortal, live like me. You won't be afraid of death, and it won't have you running scared, and that's going to be bad. And y'all see that tree over there? The fruit of that tree is a controlled substance. That is the tree of knowledge. How isn't that cold-blooded? I mean, how clear can they make it that you are not to touch of the tree of knowledge, lest the blinders fall from your eyes, you begin thinking for yourself. Now, I've always been amused by the fact that they always laid the blame on Eve. It was that naughty, women is terrible, that naughty hip-wiggling Eve that got poor straight arrow Adam and all that trouble. And on the flip side, I think we must, those of us who believe in the title Homo sapiens sapiens, we are the species that are equipped with this enormous computing machinery, 100 billion neurons up there. Each neuron has the knowledge processing capacity of a big mainframe computer. And it was a woman, Eve, was the first person to get off her knees and stand on her feet. She went over there, try the fruit. The blinds did fall from her eyes. She said, "Hey, Adam, you got to try this." And so the first human being that thought for herself was a woman, and thank God for Eve. Yeah.